Speaking of moving forward, the Guardians have put the Pirates in their rearview mirrors. They are moving forward with a 3-game set at home against the Minnesota Twins starting tonight. 6:40, your first pitch. Tanner Bibby's on the mound for the Guardians. Twins, we have to go back to the weekend that was. Canceled the game Friday, played a doubleheader Saturday, and then faced Paul Skenes on Sunday. First game, offense was nowhere to be found. Second game, the offense was nowhere to be found for 7.5 innings. And then they scored 4 runs late, including a Travis Bazzana walk-off home run to give them a win. And then Paul Skenes came to town on Sunday. And basically nobody hits Paul Skenes. The Guardians certainly had almost no chance of hitting the perennial favorite to win the NL Cy Young. Zach, when you look at the overall totality of this series, they lost 2 or 3 to Pittsburgh. The offense, not a great performance. What's your big kind of takeaway from what we just saw?
I'm like full Dennis Green. They are who we thought they were, right? Like they just don't hit. Manzardo does not have an extra base hit in the month of July. No. So it's kind of a situation of wake me up when they make a move. They have to. The thing's winnable. The best team doesn't always win it. The hottest team does. This offense clearly not hot. So obviously we're waiting on Jose. Waiting on other guys. There's bright spots, and they showed that in rallying on Saturday night. And yes, there's no shame in losing to Paul Skenes, but it's just too much of a pattern of just not scoring enough runs, not cashing in so many chances.
You know, I kind of I compare it a little bit in football. Like, you know, we talk about the Bills and we talk about certain teams, and it's like when you're the Bills and you got, you know, you got Josh Allen and you feel like you're in contention. Sometimes you talk to Bills fans and they just seem like they just never quite just go for it. Like, it's just like, dude, just go all in one time for me. And it's almost like they're like, oh, well, we're good enough to get to the championship with just this. So, you know, let's just stay pat. And it's kind of like that with the Guardians. You know, Bazzana hits the walk-off home run and you're excited because you're like, man, our young guys are the ones that are delivering, but they're young guys for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, you're young for a reason. You don't just have guys that are going to carry you. And so the thing that we look at is like, hey, if you would invest a couple of the little things here or there, can you imagine what you will be able to do and bolster your chances? Because like you said, in baseball, you know, are the Dodgers the best team in the world? Probably. But I just saw the Blue Jays take them to a Game 7. So if you got a couple things bounce here or there, the Blue Jays could have won, right? The best team doesn't always win. So you would hope that they would throw something out there and do a little more. We'll see how it works when Jose comes back, but I don't believe they're going to do it.
It's time to go get a bat.
They need a bat. And Manzardo, for a little bit, looked like he was turning the corner.
Mm-hmm.
He has then regressed again back to where he started. There's been over 1,000 plate appearances in his career at this point, and he is a below average hitter. I'm not saying he can't get better, but over 1,000 at-bat sample size, he's been a below MLB average hitter with subpar defense. Steven Kwan's OPS is now just 5 points lower than Kyle Manzardo's, and Kwan's up to 240 batting.
And Kwan has been cooking.
He hit leadoff yesterday.
He was cooking.
Had 2 hits. It was one of the few bright spots offensively Sunday for the Guardians. What I was most impressed with Saturday in the walk-off was it was all the young cats that got it going.
Mm-hmm.
The Lauder had an RBI. Khalil Watson had an RBI. Then it was the Bazzana situation. And I don't know if you guys were watching the end of it, but Patrick Bailey getting thrown out by yay much.
It was funny.
The play before Bazzana. Because think about it, let's say he scores. If he slides, I think he scores. If it wasn't an absolutely perfect relay from the outfield.
My dad lost his mind.
He
was like,
slide.
You got to slide.
But think how different we feel if he slides, and even if they win that game, right? If he slides, they win. Mm. And it's not the Bazzana walk-off because he also didn't have a great series other than the walk-off. And it wasn't terrible, but, like, that was the moment to remember. That doesn't exist if Patrick Bailey just slides and they win the game.
Man, and I tell you what, he put a charge into it because if you watch that game,
he hit it hard.
Every guy that was coming up, guys were off the bat. You thought these were home runs, and the wind was blowing in and keeping it up in the outfield. But he got up and he killed it to right center, and it was like, this might be gone. I'm like, oh, this is gone. And the mob scene, it was cool because you could tell the clubhouse likes a dude like him.
Yeah.
He's a fully complete. He's, the quintessential pro guy, comes and plays the game the right way. So I could tell they were excited for him. But, the next day, oops, there goes gravity. Back to reality. Paul Skenes is out there. And he was
yeah. I mean, to sum it up, right? You're overall pleased with a lot of the young guys that we've mentioned. You're right in the thick of thing, despite your flaws and despite some disappointment. And really, you still are playing well in the month of July.
Yeah.
You're right there. But it's just like, it's not good enough, and it's maddening. So even Jose coming back isn't going to make it good enough. To me, that's my Guardians take. Go get a bat.
Yeah.
Then I'm engaged.
I will say the resurgence in July and smaller sample size, totally aware of Steven Kwan becoming a good hitter again.
Yeah.
Does change a lot about how you feel about this team. Now, they still need more power.
Mhm.
Manzardo has to turn it around. You're still counting on a ton of young guys to produce down a stretch run where they've never done it before. So it could go well, it could go bad. It's a complete unknown. But they led off the game with Kwan yesterday, moved Bazzana to the 2 spot. And I'm curious if Kwan keeps hitting the way he has between Rocchio, between Kwan, between Travis Bazzana, between Chase DeLauder, who they've liked to bat in that 2 spot. How does Stephen Vogt balance the lineup? Not to be too lefty heavy up front, but also they're not good enough to have too many of their better hitters down at the bottom of the lineup because they're just not getting through the lineup enough, because overall this offense has been relatively disappointing.
Is it disrespectful to say that the Guardians are not good enough to play the righty-lefty game? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that, like, you got to go with who's hot. And if it happens to be a left-hand bat, so be it. They don't got enough, sticks in the lineup to just be moving around where it's like, oh, I'm gonna get cute. I'm going, we like this matchup. No. We don't got a lot of people that come up to the plate that we like any matchup with.
Yep.
Go add another major league hitter and make that a first world problem.
Yeah.
Where they all hit, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like Manzardo and Hoskins. They do the lefty righty, and both are hitting. Both have OPSs 50 points or more below the MLB average.
Hoskins was a great Band-Aid for a low budget team. And now it's about to be August, and it's time.
And it'd be funny because it always comes to fruition. You start watching it, and then all of a sudden, he hits a couple home runs, and he's driving RBIs, and you take a look at the game, you're like, hold on, it dawns you, this dude is not that nice. You're like, yeah, we knew that. Like, the sample size catches up with you, man.